Good evening. So, as you all know, we started with the new lesson. So, that was growth of nationalism. So, in the beginning itself, I said in this lesson we will be talking two major topics that will be industrial revolution and the concept called imperialism. So, already we started with the first and foremost topic. So, that was industrialism. So, we started or industrial revolution. We started. So I just started telling about domestic system of production, then factory system of production we talked. Then we had entered into the industrial revolution, then the characteristics or features of industrial revolution. So we had discussed in the previous classes, and we had started with the one of the most important topic of the lesson. So that is causes of the industrial revolution in England, because as you all know, industrial revolution started in England, okay, in the 18th century. From England, it started to spread to the various countries. So, why only in England it was possible? Industrial revolution, why it was possible? Okay, which made the to see a world of modern. Okay, why it was possible only in England? Why not in other countries? Okay, so in order to get the reasons, so last class we started with the few causes. Okay, few causes we started discussing about the industrial revolution, and I think I had discussed the three major, causes. The surplus capital, okay, the surplus capital, money, which was there with the rich merchants, made them to invest, and that invest made the industrial revolution to take up. So that we had seen one cause. Second cause means stable government. Merchants or the rich merchant as well as the kings, they had a very close, contact with them, and at the same time, the kings were giving their complete support of their government to the merchants to start up the industries. Okay, the support of the British government, which was given to the rich merchant, so made the industrial revolution possible only in England in the 18th century. Then, moreover, simply having a surplus capital and having the, stable government support will not make industry to have a growth. Okay, for that purpose, majorly, the need is agriculture. So, like that, agriculture revolution. Okay, new way of cultivation, new way of farming. Okay, the tools were replaced and machines were implemented. Okay, so like this, several changes even in the agriculture also, were brought. So that made the industrial revolution to start, in England. Okay, so these were the three causes I think we had discussed in the, previous classes. So today's class we will go with the three more major causes. Okay, three more the important causes. So which made the industrial revolution to, start only in England. Okay, so in that first fourth, causes for the industrial revolution in England, if you see, availability of coal and iron. Okay, so availability of coal and iron. So England started the industries not only of a textile, but even it started to have a coal and iron industries. Okay, the coal. Okay, the two essential resources which started to take up or which started to have in the, England, so made the three major industries to come up. Okay, that is textile industries, coal and iron industries. Okay, so the coal and the iron were the two essential resources which was easily available, in England. So which made one part to an industrial revolution for the growth of industries. Okay, so the availability of the iron and the coal made the great extent of or the growth of the industries, number of industries in England. Okay, and especially the industries started to be existed in the towns and the cities. Okay, especially in the North England. So many coal and the iron industries we can see in the North England. Okay, the British peoples, the most majorly the towns and cities. Okay, so North England was the in the 18th century. So major towns and cities were present, and there the number of industries of like textile, iron, and the coal started to exist. Okay, so even the coal and the iron was one part for the industrial revolution, so which took place in England. So that's the one concept, so which we are having it. The next we are having navy supremacy. Now politically, England is good. Okay, and social lifestyle also they are often England is getting slowly but slowly is getting changed where it is it has stepped into the towns and the cities, and economically it is slowly starting I mean have a great income. Okay, politically, economically, and socially. Okay, or the social stability or economic stability or political stability often England is almost is going together. Okay, this political, social, and economic, the stability gave rise to a concept called supremacy. Okay, now the England want, okay, now the England want the England to be called as a superior or superiority or supreme in the world. Okay, for that what is required, for that what is needed. Okay, so when it was the England, when it thought, so naval, I mean Navy's supremacy we have. Okay, so Navy supremacy. The Navy supremacy, so when it comes, so when you have a Navy supremacy, the powerful Navy can make your country to be called as the strongest nation. That is the Navy's, I mean, supremacy is the thing. So England thought having a presence of Navy, okay, having a presence of Navy can make the England to be called as the strongest nation. Okay, the England to be called as strongest nation, which introduced many warships. Many warships. So by introducing the warships, in order to make your country the strongest and powerful in Navy, so the England started to capture or acquire large number of colonies throughout the world. Large number of colonies. Colonies in the sense, the place which doesn't belongs to in England, where the place is need of development and somebody should be taken care. So forcibly that particular place will be taken, and England, I mean, particularly the England government keeps that particular colony under their control. Now, how India was under the control of British, okay, how the Indians were controlled and how India was taken to the British. So like that, when India was in a colony to the British. So like that, wherever the possible, wherever the resources, wherever the cultivation, wherever the agriculture revolution can possible, such places were acquired by the England, and where they made there's a many number of colonies, especially in the European country and Asian, I mean continent. Okay, so by making many colonies, they started to get cheap raw materials. They captured a place, they made the people to work there, and whatever the cultivation or whatever the production they gave, so that was taken for a very cheap material, cheap price, raw materials from a colonies. And colonies became a supplier to finished products to the market. Okay, whatever the cheap raw material which is being given by colonies, that was taken by England. So England made it as a finished product and brought it to the market, and it started to sell. Okay, so which made the industrial growth. Okay, which made the industrial growth. So that is the reason industrial revolution was possible. Okay, so that is the reason, the Industrial Revolution. Because of warships, because of powerful navy, so it made easy for capturing the colonies. So that colonies started to have a supply of raw materials, and that supply of raw material made the finished product. So which all made the growth of industries in England. Okay, this is a one more, the causes so which we are having it. Then the next we are having, so that is the sixth and the last, I mean, the major inventions. Okay, the last one, that is major inventions. Okay, major inventions. So when day by day the England started to have a growth in the industries, it also felt, okay, it also felt the few areas should have a few areas should be developed, and few areas should have a care which should be given by England. Okay, so such situations, so when it was having it, so major inventions took place. Okay, because of the political stability and social stability in England, so major invention took place, and the inventions were related to majorly to the cotton development of cotton industries. Okay, why it was aiming only the invention should related to the cotton industry? Because the activity, okay, of the cotton industry was more in the 18th century in England. Great income they were getting it. So that is the reason the major inventions they wanted to develop the cotton industries or textile industries. For that purpose, they thought to have a major invention by using their political and social stabilities. Okay, so here are some of the major inventions. So in that first three major inventions for three areas to develop, so England had come out with the inventions. Okay, three major areas. So in that first areas, as their interest to develop the cotton industries, so they have come out with the inventions. Okay, now for example, like Hargreaves spinning jenny, John Case flying shuttle, and Carteret, that is power loom, and L.A. Whiteness, that is cotton gin, then Arkwright, okay, water frame. So these are all the inventions or major inventions which was made by the personalities in order to develop or in order to improve the textile industries. Okay, that invention made the textile industries to have a great extent in England, and from England the Industrial Revolution started to spread to the different countries. Okay, that is the one first major invention or one area of invention, so we can have it. Where they gave importance to the cotton industries. Okay, that's the one aspect to which we are having it. And the second area, okay, or the second where the areas they thought to develop. Okay, the second area they thought to develop, coal and iron industries to be developed. To in order to have an increased protection in the area of the coal and the mines. For that purpose also they were need of inventions. They wanted to increase the gaining of the natural resources like coal and iron. So for that purpose, the Newcombs came out with a pump, and James Watt came out with a steam engine, and Davis came out with a safety lamp. Okay, with these three inventions, the coal and mines, also the production day by day, it started to increase. Okay, it started to develop. Okay, that is also one area so where they thought of having a development. And next, the third area, if you see, which is related to like a modern world. Okay, which is related to a modern world. So where England thought not only the industry, not only the industries should have a development or industries should have a growth, at the same time that should make our life luxury with the presence of city and the towns. And if you are migrating to the city and towns, the two aspects should have an improvement. That is nothing but transportation and communication. Okay, when communication and transportation development takes up, the life of a luxury and the life of a city or a towns will have a great extent or great value. Okay, so for that purpose, the transport facilities and the communication also along with the industries, and because almost we are entering to the world of trade and commerce. We have to exchange the import or export the goods from one place to another place. For that purpose, the transportation development and the communication development, so they thought must and should for the England. For that purpose, George Stephenson came out with the steam locomotive, and John Macadam came out with the road building techniques. Okay, and Thomas Edison came out with the bulb, and Dremel came out with the invention of telephone, and Marconi came out with the invention of telegraph. Okay, so three areas or three inventions related to transport facilities and two areas related to communication. Okay, so now one side the industries, textile industries development is going on. One side coal and mine industries development is going on, and another side the transportation and communication also the development is going on. So together this three inventions, three areas invention, politically, socially, and economically, the England day by day started to grow. So that's how the industrial revolution started to grow to a greater extent. To England. So the England slowly it started to become one of the strongest nations. Strongest nation. So in the world by using various warships, and finally the industrial revolution which started in England, slowly it started to spread to the different parts of the continent and different parts of the countries. So that's about the causes of the industrial revolution. So in India, so surplus capital, stable government, agricultural revolution, then availability of coal and iron, and navy supremacy and major invention. So the six major causes made the industrial revolution to start in the 18th century. So in England, so that's how the industrial revolution began in 18th century. In England, and from England it started to go to the various different countries. So next class we will go with the some more concepts related to the industrial revolution. So actually here you can go through it, and some of the inventions, diagrams or the pictures they have given in your textbook, that you can just go through it. Not everything they have given, like spinning jenny and flying shuttle and steam engine and steam locomotive. So like this major inventions, so they have given a diagram in our textbook. So please once just have a look on it, or go through it. Okay, next class we will see with the few more topics. Thank you.